Good morning, everyone. I'm Nikki Stanzione.
And I'm Kristen Van Dyke.
And this is New Mexico Style, and welcome to Wednesday.
Yeah, we're halfway through the week.
Yeah,
and almost down.
Exactly. And last night, I totally gleeked out big time. I put it on Facebook.
Was it good?
It was out of control. I was crying my eyes out because it was such
no.
Well, I'm going to do a Glee spoiler. They finally won nationals. The New Directions won nationals, and it was really fun. And Lindsay Lohan and Perez Hilton were guest stars, and they were in the audience playing themselves, and they were the judges, and it was really fun. And it was just, I mean, I honestly have to say, if you don't watch Glee, it was one of the best episodes. Really? You should really watch the last episode next week for the season. It was really good. And Maria and Derek Huff got the boot on Dancing with the Stars. Those are my spoilers of the day.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
spoiler alert.
Yeah, and of course, you know, we always say the terminology three's a crowd. Well, this means someone is also about to get the boot on American Idol.
That's right. Fox's Sabrina Sabah catches up with the final three in Hollywood.
Someone told me long ago.
Nearly a year after tens of thousands of people auditioned, American Idol Season 11 is down to its final three. Jessica, Philip, and Joshua differ on whether the finish line is actually in sight.
I definitely feel like the end is almost here. It's getting closer and closer, and I can literally taste the finale. I want to be there so bad. It's right around the corner. I can remember the first day at Top 24. And
it feels like miles and miles and miles away. We only got what, 2 more weeks of this competition to go until the finale, and I still feel like it's years away. Yeah.
It's right there, man. It's only a couple weeks, but you know, the weeks change every time, man. And if you go out there and mess up, or you know something, you never know what happens.
I try my best to feed her appetite.
Proper song choice and execution continue to be the main reason contestants earn votes.
They all are doing what they need to do. They're being themselves, you know. I feel like they're so individual, each one of them. I think, you know, it's just about making really good choices next week.
I question myself all the time, and I think we all do. I mean, we always throughout the week we're confident and we're yeah, we got the song, we got the lyrics down, blah, blah, blah. But then 10 minutes before the show, we're oh my gosh, we're gonna crack, we're gonna forget the words, we're gonna fall. It's ridiculous.
Returning to their hometowns over the weekend, the contestants greeted their fans with parades and mini concerts. They each had one thing they were hoping to accomplish.
My mom's homemade chicken pot pie and some chicken and cheese nachos from El Maya.
Jambalaya. It's rice, sausage, and pork steak, and all these different spices and gravies and onions.
I'm gonna go to my house and I'm gonna jump on my bed and probably take a really good nap.
In Hollywood, Sabrina Sabah, Fox News.
Yeah, the hometown hero trips are the best part of American Idol. Aren't they so much fun?
Yes.
So you said you used to jump on your bed when you used to go home,
did.
too?
Oh yeah, it was great. Every day in high school, it was I had my step, jump, and leap on the bed. And then I came back from college for the summer, step, leap. My bed was gone. My parents had already transferred my room into another guest room. And
That's dangerous.
Gone. I was so mad. So it was over.
That is dangerous.
Yeah.
That is dangerous. Don't try this at home, folks. You know, I have to mention really quickly, speaking of Idol, that we've heard some possible rumors, and you know, speculation only, that there's a chance J-Lo might not be returning to the judges panel next season.
Ooh, really?
It's in question. So if you've heard any news about this, please let us know.
Why?
I don't know. It's a rumor.
Ooh.
It's a rumor. So
I don't like this rumor.
Rumor has it, I don't like it either.
Like
I think she's good in this position, don't you?
I really like seeing her on there. Yeah,
I do too. I think it really humanizes her because she's a little intimidating, and I think this shows a softer side of her. So, speaking of soft sides, we love our favorite anchor at KIm News 13, anchor Elizabeth Alvarez.
I'm sorry, I still miss Paula Abdul.
You missed the clap?
The Paula clap.
The Paula clap?
Maybe it's ratings. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why she's not coming back.
Paula too.
I don't know. Or maybe it's because she's so busy on all her tours. She's doing so many tours. She's doing the Enrique Iglesias tour.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get to your news this morning, ladies, shall we? Good morning to you at home. This morning, a lawsuit filed in court claims a former New Mexico inmate was raped by a high-ranking prison guard and alleges that the warden at the time covered the whole thing up. The lawsuit was filed yesterday in Valencia County. The alleged victim claims he was repeatedly raped by then Captain Kenneth Carejo at the Central New Mexico Correctional Facility in Los Lunas last year. Now, according to the victim's lawyer, the FBI was investigating, even planning to collect evidence, and that's when the warden at the time, Anthony Romero, apparently found out what was happening.
The warden did blow the undercover operation. He called the brothers of the rapist to come and interrogate my client. It was one of the most frightening things he had to endure.
Now, the alleged victim's attorney says the brothers of the accused captain were state police officers. The accused captain has since retired since the alleged incidents. The correction department says it is in reviewing the allegations but won't comment. The FBI will also not comment about the case right now. It seems like a suspected thief wasn't too worried about hiding his face from police. That's because cops say this guy went on national TV to peddle his stolen goods. Wiley G. Newton wanted to sell a very rare gun on the show American Guns. There was just one problem. Investigators say Newton was actually the person behind stealing a gun from a museum in Santa Fe. Now, a volunteer saw the show and immediately recognized the guy and Wiley Newton. So the gun, by the way, is a Colt Dragoon. It's about 150 years old and is worth more than 20 grand. The show didn't end up buying it, but undercover cops say they did, and yeah, guess what? They arrested Newton. Well, more trouble for the already troubled town of Sunland Park. All right, first, we've learned that Friday's meeting to have councilors appoint yet another mayor has been canceled indefinitely. And second, the city's motor vehicle division is raided by authorities. We're told they were searching for evidence linked to allegations that 2 Texas residents were able to get New Mexico driver's licenses by using fake addresses and listing a Sunland Park city councilor as the landlord. The raid happened just after one day the state announced that it was taking over the city's finances. State Auditor Hector Valdera, seen here, released an 80-page report Monday showing numerous violations that included fraud, abuse, and waste of public money. A young Georgia woman is fighting for her life right now after she contracted a flesh-eating bacteria when she fell off of a homemade zip line and cut herself. Well, it got us asking questions here in New Mexico. Listen to this. The State Department of Health says the number of these flesh-eating bacteria cases have actually increased in the last 8 years from 9 to 2004 to 17 last year. Experts say what's introduced into the wound while you have an open cut can put someone's life at risk. Now, here's what you need to know. The most common cause of the disease is from streptococcus or strep. This can come from something as simple as someone's saliva entering the wound while swimming in unclean water or perhaps through an animal bite. Well, there are some signs you can look out for if you have a wound that's infected. Listen up.
You're going to have redness of the skin. It can be painful. It can be swollen. Certainly, as a localized infection gets worse, there might be, pus at the site and that sort of thing.
I know it's a little bit hard to stomach, but it really is important information. Again, the doctors say there are some common sense things that you can do if you have an open cut to avoid this disease. First off, make sure that this wound is very clean. If you or someone else is cleaning the wound, doctors say avoid speaking over it so that saliva doesn't get in there. And of course, you need to wash your hands as often as possible and avoid people that might be infected with strep. All right, switching gears completely. The Avengers, the movie, which was shot right here in New Mexico, is raking in some serious dough at the box office. I'm talking $1 billion or billions of dollars and counting. But as KIm reports, New Mexico taxpayers too, that means you, also shelled out some serious cash to get that movie to shoot here.
It's the superhero movie of superhero movies.
The most epic Marvel movie that has ever come out in all of history.
And The Avengers is definitely making history. Worldwide, the film has topped $1 billion at the box office in just under 3 weeks. But before Iron Man, Captain America, and crew saved mankind on the streets of New York City, actors were here in New Mexico, shooting on the now quiet sound stages of Albuquerque studios, thanks in part to the state's film tax credits.
If we hadn't given them that, they probably would have made it in Detroit or Oklahoma or some Utah.
New Mexico reimburses film and TV productions for a quarter of what they spend in the state. Marvel Worldwide, the company that produced The Avengers, spent at least $88 million here, which means the state cut the producers a check for more than $22 million, making the comic book flick put about 500 locals to work.
That extra staff now has the money to go to the restaurant, and that restaurant now has money to hire extra waitresses, and there is a ripple effect.
But at least one lawmaker says the state got a bad deal.
This was spent on a movie production project that is now gone. It was here temporarily. We could have spent that $22 million on all kinds of things like education for our children. We could have spent them on roads.
State Rep Dennis Kintai also says he has a serious problem with paying millions to a company making $1 billion plus. Senator Jerry Ortiz-Pino says that's the wrong way of looking at it.
But to say, well, we paid out $22 million, and what do we get for it? We got a lot. It's just hard to measure.
Katie Kim, KRQE News 13.
It's certainly an interesting debate. The state, by the way, is planning to do a study to look at how much tax revenue the state ends up making on film incentives. By the way, The Avengers 2 already in the works, yes, but no word if it will be brought back here to shoot here in New Mexico. That wraps it up for your Thursday morning headlines. Be sure to start your day with Matt Morrow, Kristen Van Dyke, and me every weekday morning beginning at 4:30 on KRQE News 13. Nikki, Kristen, back to you.
Thanks, Elizabeth. And of course, speaking of Avengers and the movie business, it's time now for some Hollywood buzz.
That's right. TMZ correspondent Gary Trock joins us from Los Angeles. Hey there, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Hey, good morning.
We're going to start today with a little follow-up from last week's conversation. Obviously, we've been talking about John Travolta, and his lawyer says the actor has been completely vindicated after John Doe number 1, let's say, dismissed his lawsuit. But there is a John Doe number 2. Does he plan to proceed? I mean, what has TMZ learned, Gary?
Okay, so as of now, John Doe number 2 has not taken away his lawsuit. It is still in full effect.
Okay.
It's just been the first guy. So obviously, John Travolta's lawyer feels this is a win that the first guy has dropped out because it shows that, you know, he wasn't, the evidence they had couldn't counteract the evidence that Travolta's camp had that he wasn't in this situation at that current time. So it's a good win. Basically shows that this lawsuit probably is frivolous and will probably be over soon.
Oh, sigh of relief.
You can breathe a sigh of relief.
I can breathe again. You know, he's my Jersey John. I love him. I'm glad to hear good news for him. Hopefully John Doe number 2 follows the lead.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll see. Well, sources are telling TMZ that Kanye West will be seen with Kim Kardashian on the next Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but none of their relationship will be featured on the show. That's not very Kardashian-like. We have to wonder how long it'll take Mama Chris to force feed in the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, right.
Well, exactly, but this is the thing. Kim understands that she screwed up the relationship with Chris. Probably had a lot to do with the TV show. You know, it was all showcased on there. So she really doesn't want this relationship to kind of be open to the public like that. She, you know, learned the mistake in the past. She wants to move forward. When Kim and Kanye are shown together on screen, we're told it's going to be really organic. It's going to be, you know, if Kim has an event to go to and Kanye's with her, you know, he'll be on screen. He's fine with that. But he's not going to go out of his way to, you know, film something for the show, or, you know, he's not going to have like a blowout fight with Scott Disick over something. It's not going to be, you know, a whole scripted thing. So that's good for Kanye fans because they were worried that he might be a big sellout, you know, on the Kardashian show. So it looks like he's keeping his integrity, and you know, they will keep their relationship intact, you know, by not showcasing it.
Yeah, I think we just saw a picture of them recently. Was it at the Laker game? They were all cozied up, looking very, very in love.
Oh, they've been, I mean, they've been making the rounds, getting in front of the cameras. You know, they're not shy about the relationship right now, but I think they want to keep some of it basically personal so they can keep the relationship going and not have it blow up.
Exactly. Thanks so much, Gary. Great information as always. We'll see you next week. And of course, you can catch TMZ weeknights, 5:30, right here, to Casa Fox. So yeah, okay, interesting. I know you're not a big Kardashian fan. I do like the show. It's
no, but you know, you kind of keep up
pleasure
with the celebrity gossip and stuff. And you know, it's nice to see. I think that has to help. That they're going to keep their relationship a little bit behind the doors.
Yeah, it's a guilty pleasure to kind of watch what's going on in their lives. Can't help ourselves. Now, Governor Susana Martinez officially declared the state a disaster area yesterday. Totally switching gears here.
Yeah, that's right. The state hasn't seen a drought this severe in almost 50 years. In fact, 90% of New Mexico has faced severe drought conditions during the last year. The state has had more rain this year than this time last year, but it's still not enough. In the southeast, we picked up about an inch or maybe a little bit more in many places, and it did help us catch up. We're still below where we should be, and then compared to where we should be for this time of the year, we're about 20 to 40% below average.
Right.
So we still have a lot of catching up to do.
A lot of catching up to do, but also those conditions sometimes make it easier for fires to start too, right?
It does. So fire danger will be going up as well, especially as we transition into more of a dry weather pattern. Before we get to that, here's a look at the drought conditions out around the state. Moderate drought conditions across northern, northwestern New Mexico. We have severe drought weather across southwest to northeast, and then extreme again across the east central and southeastern New Mexico. So that's probably not changing anytime soon.